لم يلد ولم يولد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا وعظيمنا وحبيب قلوبنا وشفيع نفوسنا أبي القاسم محمد. وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين وأصحابه الغر الميامين. الحمد لله الذي جعلنا من المتمسكين بولاية سيدي ومولاي علي بن أبي طالب. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آله. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. أما بعد, O Muhammad, son of Abu Bakr, I have entrusted you with the command of the most important section in my army in Egypt. Do not allow your whims and your passions to overrun your judgment. Keep guarding and keep protecting the religion and the state with which you have been entrusted. Take care that not for a single moment you incur the wrath of Allah for the pleasure of a person. The first of our loud salawat in honor of Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. A second even louder salawat in honor of Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. A third with your loudest voices in honor of the Imam of our time, Imam Sahib al-Asri wa zaman. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Respected scholars, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Muhammad, son of Abu Bakr, brother of Aisha, one of the greatest lovers of Imam Ali alayhi salam, one of the greatest Shia to have ever lived on the face of this earth, and a man who died at the age of 28, but what a legacy for a 28-year-old. Normally, when you hear about Muhammad, son of Abu Bakr, most of the discussion emerges that how is it that someone who is the son of the first Khalifa could end up being someone who's an enemy of the third and a supporter of the fourth. His 28 years on this earth, without a doubt, are amongst the most fascinating, but also the most divisive 28 years of any of the tabi'een. As you know, you have the Sahaba of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi, who are then followed by a generation known as the tabi'een. And then after them you have Taba tabi'een. Muhammad, son of Abu Bakr, was only a few months of age when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi died. Therefore, he was counted as amongst the tabi'een. And you find that this personality is a cause of much dispute. Was he someone behind the death of Uthman? How loyal was he to his father's cause, his father's way, his father's ideology? How is it that he became so close to Imam Ali alayhi salam, as if Imam Ali was his father rather than Abu Bakr? Indeed, on the first level, when you hear that he's 28, it highlights to you that whether you're in your 20s or your 30s or your 40s, you ask yourself the question, what have you given back to the Imam of your time? That 28-year-old, he gave so much back to the Imam of his time before he was executed. What have you given in your 20s back to the Imam of your time? As in, either a person knows the Imam of their time and they're successful, or they have no relationship with the Imam of their time and they're a failure. My success in this world is either I die on the path of Jahiliyyah, knowing the Imam of my time, Because the hadith says, Man mata wa lam ya'ruf imam zamanah mata mitatin jahiliyyah. The one who dies without knowing the imam of his time dies the death of a jahil. Someone says, yes, knowledge of the imam, I need to be much older. Muhammad, you'll see that the imam had so much respect for him that in his early 20s he had already made him governor of the whole of Egypt. That 20-year-old on the second level highlights how much the imam loved to see youth at the front of the community. The imam, companions of his, some were older, meaning his age, some were much younger. Muhammad, son of Abu Bakr, died at 28, 2 years before Imam Ali alayhi salam died. Imam Ali did not look at the age of this man. Imam looked at the wisdom of this man. And even if the person does not have all the wisdom, I can still help nourish and nurture the wisdom. Because sometimes you may look at someone and say that they're too young to lead the community. If they're too young, then let them have a chance to grow. Help them, give them your experiences that you had in your life as well. When we therefore look at him on the second level, we see that he was someone, yes, very young. But Imam Ali alayhi salam, like the Prophet did with him, what's the age gap between the Prophet and Imam Ali alayhi salam? 30 years. Imam was 30 years younger than Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. Did Rasulullah ever say that because you're 30 years younger than me, you should not be the leader on this earth? No. I'll nourish you, I'll help you grow, I'll help you develop. That's on the second level. On the third level, the companions of the Ahlul Bayt, salawatullah wa salam alayhim, are not ma'soomeen. The companions reach very high levels of faith, no doubt. Salman is Salman for a reason. Zurara is Zurara for a reason. Muhammad bin Abi Umar is Muhammad bin Abi Umar for a reason. But they are not ma'soom. When they're not ma'soom, what does it mean? It means that sometimes they have their weaknesses as well. Sometimes they have their slips as well. When we imagine the names of the companions of the Imams, automatically someone says, when I hear Malik al-Ashtar's name, or when I hear Maythab al-Tammar, or I hear Kumail bin Ziyad, because these are not ma'soomeen. Aqil, the brother of Imam Ali alayhi salam, Ja'far al-Tayyar, they're all on different levels. The Shia, we never fell in the trap that all of the Sahaba are exactly the same. We done this thing. That all of the Sahabi, the one who converted early to Islam, is the same as the son of the liver eater who converted if he ever converted. Yes? You can't put everybody on the same level. The ashab of Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, likewise. They're not all on the same level. There are some of the ashab, they have weaknesses. They have moments of anger. They might even question the imam. Someone says, no way. How dare they question? But this person is not ma'soom. He may have a slip of the tongue, or the imam has built an environment that allowed people to question. This is an important point. If Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam allowed someone to question him, that means Mawla was not a dictator on his Sahaba. Yes? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, even with his Sahaba, he was never a dictator on his ashab. You want to question me, question me. But you should know that I am chosen by Allah. And if you believe in my position that I'm chosen by Allah, then if you're questioning out of arrogance, it's different from questioning out of humility. Someone might question a ma'soom. Aqil questioned Imam Ali alayhi salam. Ammar bin Yasir questioned Imam Ali alayhi salam. Hujr bin Ali questioned Imam Ali alayhi salam. None of these are ma'soomeen. So likewise, when we examine Muhammad, son of Abu Bakr, on the third level, never forget that he is not ma'soom, but that he achieves a very high level. On the fourth level, it is vital to study him. Why? His father is the first caliph, and his sister, one may argue, is a caliph anyway. Aisha is a caliph. Someone says, no, Aisha is not a caliph. Yes, Aisha is a caliph. Yeah, you know how you have minister and minister without portfolio, true? In the Jama'at, you can have somebody who's minister, and behind the scenes you have ministers. What that means is that you can have people, even on a mosque level, you can have someone who is in the committee, and you can have someone outside of the committee making decisions for the committee. What does that mean? That means that you have a minister without portfolio. Aisha is his sister. Abu Bakr is his father. Someone like this surely cannot end up saying that I am the first of the muwalin for Amir al-Mu'mineen. Because that person has a tough decision to make. And you'll see how tough that decision is to make. What is it? When my family is unjust, do I stay quiet because it's my sister? Or is my sister also open to justice and injustice? One of the biggest tests that he faces in his life, that relates to our life today, because this is not someone I'm going to dissect because he lived 1,000 years ago. I could talk about him from now until Qiyamah about what happened then. But what applies today is important. That today, I may not have a sister who is fighting an imam. But what if I have a sister or a brother or a cousin who has committed dhulm? Do I stay quiet because they're my family? Or do I treat adala, everybody the same? Let's tonight enter the wonderful world of Muhammad. And let's examine this person's biography to understand the legacy of this great personality and how he came to be known amongst the disciples of Imam Ali alayhi salam. And I'd like to do this in the following stages. Number one, who was the mother and how pivotal was she in his life? Number two, how many years did he live under his father, the first caliph? Number three, what did Imam Ali alayhi salam make clear about his relationship with him? Number four, how did he speak out against Uthman? Why did he speak out against Uthman? Is there a possibility that he killed Uthman? Number five, when he became governor of Egypt, why was there a problem with the Uthmanis at that time? Number six, when he faced his sister on the day of Jamal, how easy was it for him to control himself when his sister was on one side and his master was on the other? Number seven, how did Imam replace him with Malik al-Ashtar? And why was Muhammad angry with that decision? Number eight, how did the Imam explain that decision? And finally, number nine, if you thought ISIS was something new, come look at Muawiyah and Amr ibn al-As and the way they executed Muhammad. Let's examine this and dissect the topic in complete depth. His father, you all know, is the first Khalifa. That is without a doubt. His mother is Asma bint Umays. Asma bint Umays was one of the mu'minat. They say she's one of the 10 mu'minat of early Islam. Asma bint Umays was originally the wife of who? She was originally the wife of Ja'far al-Tayyar. Ja'far al-Tayyar was married to Asma bint Umays, and she and him, they had a number of children. And you find therefore that when you look in the annals of history, the different names that are mentioned, Ja'far al-Tayyar was with her even when they had gone to Abyssinia. As you know, they left Mecca to go to Abyssinia when the Muslims were under oppression. Ja'far had gone, and who had gone as well? Our good friend, our very old friend, Amr ibn al-As. At the beginning of Islam, an enemy of Islam. In the middle, an enemy. And at the end, an enemy. Radiyallahu anhu. Amr ibn al-As was there representing the Quraysh. Ja'far was there. His wife was a backbone. His wife was so much in grief when Ja'far al-Tayyar was killed in which battle? Ja'far al-Tayyar was killed in the Battle of Mu'tah. Battle of Mu'tah took place around Jordan. That's why any of you could do the ziyarah of Ja'far al-Tayyar. Try to go and do his ziyarah. Ja'far is Gharib al-Ghuraba. When we talk about Imam al-Rida alayhi salam, we say, Assalamu alayka ya Gharib. But today Imam al-Rida is not Gharib. Imam al-Rida has many around him who love him. Gharib is the Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Gharib is A'immat al-Baqi'. Gharib is Ja'far al-Tayyar. Ja'far al-Tayyar, where is he? In Jordan. Don't go there if you can. Try and go there, and try and go with a guide or someone, because there's a lot around there who are haters of Ahlul Bayt, not far from that area. But that's a discussion for another place. Jordan remains the only country in the Middle East, virtually, that doesn't have a Husayniyah or an Imam Barga. Saudi Arabia has many. Qatar has. Kuwait has. Bahrain has. Oman has. All of these, I could name you one by one. Dubai, United Arab Emirates, Abu Dhabi, all have Husayniyat. Only Jordan. No Shia allowed to practice. Mu'inta, you're a king and you're meant to be open-minded and Your wife is on the front page of Vogue and Hello magazine. Which open-minded except everyone except the Shia. You want to welcome Ja'far, therefore, he's buried over there. Ja'far al-Tayyar. Ja'far al-Tayyar got killed in Mu'tah. How? They chopped his arms off. They chopped his arms off. Him, Zayd and Abdullah bin Rawaha, their arms were chopped off. And that's why when Abu al-Fadl was described by Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam, how did he describe him? رحم الله عمي العباس ولقد آثر وفدى وواسى أخاه بنفسه فأعطاه الله جناحين عوض يديه. May Allah have mercy on my uncle Abbas, who sacrificed himself altruistically for his Imam. Allah replaced his arms with wings like he did with Ja'far al-Tayyar. Ja'far al-Tayyar flies in Jannah. No, it's majestic, the wings. Allah has given majesty, exactly the same. When Ja'far died, she was in a state of grief. And so afterwards, being alone, no man to look after in that society, she married who? She married Abu Bakr. She married him and she had a couple of children, according to historians, with him. One of them was this Muhammad, son of Abu Bakr. They had Muhammad when Rasulullah done his one and only Hajj. The Prophet, as you know, only went on Hajj once in his lifetime. And in that Hajj, on the way, she gave birth to Muhammad, which means that he saw Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam indirectly, I mean. He was around the Prophet just for a few months. And then that Asma, it didn't make a difference that she was married to the first Khalifa. When the first Khalifa angered Fatima al-Zahra alayhi salam, Asma straight away said, I'm on the side of Fatima, not my husband. Not my husband, that's a huge stand. My husband, no problem. But Fatima al-Zahra alayhi salam, neither my husband nor his daughter will I give them any access to the grave or the funeral of Fatima al-Zahra alayhi salam. Because Fatima al-Zahra was angry with them, with their confiscation of Fadak, with their usurping of the caliphate. This Asma had a loyalty to Ahlul Bayt, salawatullah wa salam alayhim. And just because she was married to the husband, she made clear, you have your way, I have my way. When Abu Bakr died, when did Abu Bakr die? He died 2.5 years after Muhammad was born. 2.5 years after Muhammad was born, that's when the first Khalifa died. You found that who is it that then married Asma? Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen, salawatullah wa salamu alayhi. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. A second louder salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. A third in honor of the Imam of our time. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. She married Imam Ali alayhi salam. When she married the Imam is the one who raised who? Who raised Muhammad. Because Muhammad's dad died when he was 2.5. So when she marries Imam Ali, that's why Muhammad bin Abu Bakr loved Ali ibn Abi Talib. In Nahj al-Balagha, Imam Ali alayhi salam, you'll see that in Nahj al-Balagha, Imam makes it clear about him by saying what? فَلَقَدْ كَانَ إِلَيَّ حَبِيبًا وَكَانَ لِي رَبِيبًا. He was beloved to me and I am the one who raised him. Imam was his Rabib, is the one who had nourished him, is the one who loved him. I ask you, Ahlul Bayt tell us, teach your kids the love of Ali. Imagine your father, the one who raises you, is Ali. Imagine the one who gives you manners is Ali. Imagine the one who instills sincerity in you is Ali. Muhammad did not know his dad in a relationship with Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr died when Muhammad was 2.5. Asma, when she marries Imam Ali alayhi salam, Asma knows, I am marrying the best of the men on the earth, and a man who will ensure Muhammad grows up to be the finest. Imam treated him like what? He was his son. And this is an important message. Sometimes when a person marries someone who already has children, try your hardest to follow this lesson from Imam Ali alayhi salam. Imam Ali did not say, that's your kid, not mine. No. فَلَقَدْ كَانَ إِلَيَّ حَبِيبًا وَكَانَ لِي رَبِيبًا. I raise him like he's my boy. Someone says, no, but he can never be his. Yes, biologically, never. But if you marry someone who's already got children, why can you not give the same amount of love? I cannot physically necessarily love them the same as my own child, but I can make sure they go to the best school, to the best college, to the best madrasa, to the best community. I can give them from my life experiences. Did Imam Ali turn around and say, Muhammad's not my boy, he's her boy with the first Khalifa, and the first Khalifa, Saqifa, and the first Khalifa, and no. Muhammad, I'll bring you up like you're my son. I'll bring you up with the principles and the knowledge and the wisdom that I have. And that's why Muhammad was so enamored by him that Muhammad did not care anymore. I'm the son of the first Khalifa. So what if I'm the son of the first Khalifa? At the end of the day, who you are the son of should have no bearing on your aqidah. Otherwise, Abu Lahab should be in Jannah. Abu Lahab should be in Jannah because Abu Lahab is the son of Abdul Muttalib. So Abu Lahab, in reality, someone could turn around and say, he should be in Jannah because he's the brother of, the son of. No. Muhammad is the son of the first Khalifa. His sister is Aisha. Makes no difference to me. Sister Aisha, father's first Khalifa. Because people have this thing, by the way. In Birmingham today, I'm telling you. In Birmingham, you'll see some mosques. The person will say, what the Shia say is true. It makes sense. But I've always been Sunni. And I can't really, if I change and I come towards here, then you'll have another group. What will they say? Yes, you're right about what happened 1400 years ago, but what difference does it make today? What difference? What difference? There is a difference between a manhaj of a Khalid and Ali. Stark contrast. Stark contrast between a manhaj of a Muawiyah and a Ammar. There's a stark contrast between the manhaj of Amr ibn al-As and Abu Dhar al-Ghifari. Stark. But you say, Baba, it happened 1400 years ago. What difference? The difference can even be the way you treat human beings in a country. Yes? You can treat a human, if your master kills Malik bin Nuwayra the way he does, that's the way you'll kill people. And if my master is the meaning of forgiveness and sympathy and patience, then that's my master. A person cannot come and say, well, you know what, maybe you're right, but it happened 1,000 years ago. No, not at all. You are on a way. Your dad was Abu Bakr. I don't care if that's my dad. But your sister's Aisha. I don't care, that's my sister. My way is I have to find the path. And that's why you found that when he was at the beginning of his life, he never spoke out against Uthman. He saw Uthman's government. Remember, Uthman's his dad's best friend. Umar's his dad's best friend. This was like somebody who was, that spoiled child of the very well-known family, yes? You have a family that's very well known. Uthman used to look at him like he looked at Muhammad bin Abi Hudayfa, the one I examined last night. He used to look at him. That's my best friend's son. Uthman grew up with Abu Bakr. Umar was with Abu Bakr. They used to look at him as what? They used to look at him as the young boy. Until he himself turned around when he saw the dhulm and the corruption in Uthman's government. As Shia, we're not the only ones who think Uthman's government was full of corruption. Sometimes you imagine, it's the Shia who don't like Uthman. I can show you Sunni ulama who have questioned Uthman's decisions when he brought certain personalities in. For example, when he brought in Marwan ibn al-Hakam. Marwan is someone you bring into the government. La'natullah alayh. Yes? Marwan is someone you bring into the government. Someone says, but you're a Shi'i. Why are you doing la'na? Wallah, I'll give you a list of their companions doing la'na on each other. Don't let me go into that list. Leave me tonight, please. Marwan ibn al-Hakam, la'na, this person, he puts him in power. He puts Walid ibn Utbah, Walid bin Uqbah, Samara bin Jundub, but the worst of all of them, Abdullah bin Sa'ad bin Abi Sarh. That's the worst of the worst, because this person was the one who used to say, I receive a Quran and Muhammad receives a Quran. And he becomes, MashaAllah, the governor. This Muhammad, son of Abu Bakr, started speaking out. Why are you speaking out? He said, how could you put people like this in power? He said, your dad was my friend. He said, but you're not my friend. He said, but your dad was my friend. The first Khalifa, your dad. He said, but you're not my friend. I and others will revolt against you. Who do you think started, who were the ones who started the revolt? One of the main ones who started the revolt against Uthman was Muhammad, son of his dad's best friend. Look at the dunya, yes? Who would have thought that Abu Bakr's son would start a revolt against who? Against Uthman bin Affan. Allahu Akbar. You plot and we plot. You plan and we plan. Yes? Don't think what you do years back does not come back. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't fight with stones. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you years ago, you hurt people. There'll be a day your own children will stand up against the people you put into power. Yes? When he spoke out against Uthman, Uthman's house, how many days was it besieged? 40 days. Who was one of the people who ordered for it to be besieged? Of course, by the way, Aisha, Talha, Zubair, all of them were involved in this. It's just later on, they started to say, we're not the ones who are involved. But amongst them, Muhammad, son of Abu Bakr. Muhammad, son of Abu Bakr, imagine, is leading the siege against the house of Uthman. And that's why when they kept telling him, you shouldn't do this, he said, why shouldn't I do that? But you're the son of the first Khalifa, and the third Khalifa, and the first are friends. He said, doesn't make a difference to me. And him and others, there are three opinions about them. The first opinion is that he's the one who ordered the striking of Uthman. That when Uthman got killed, it was him who ordered it. A second opinion is that he was the one who hit Uthman, but Uthman was killed by Amr bin Hamaq al-Khuza'i. A third opinion is that no, Muhammad revolted like anyone had a right to revolt. A government is corrupt. I'm not going to sit here and watch Hind's children take over my religion. I'm going to stand up against it. When he stood up against it, the third opinion was he stood up, but he never killed Uthman. He didn't kill. There were many who were outside the house who were baying for Uthman's blood. Uthman, where was he buried at the end? Uthman, where is he? Uthman, they buried him in the Jewish graveyard, according to one opinion. There's another opinion, but one opinion, they buried him in the Jewish graveyard. Someone today says to me, no, Sayyidina, no. They buried him in Jannat al-Baqi'. I said, no, they didn't. Muawiyah bought the plot behind Jannat al-Baqi', so he extended Baqi' to include Uthman. Otherwise, Uthman was not in Baqi'. Uthman was in the Jewish graveyard in Medina behind. Many of the Muslims did not want Uthman to be anywhere near Jannat al-Baqi'. And that's why this myth that's given, 4 rightly guided Khulafa, who were the Muslims themselves will look at the decisions of these guys. They will say illogical that you bring Marwan ibn al-Hakam and others into power, and I meant to say you are rightly guided from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Where's the aql? Ya Rab, where's the aql? Where's the intellect? Someone says to me, Sayyidina, do they really not understand? I say, Wallah, some of them, they've not heard these things on Mimbar. Your average, listen, let's be real. Majority of that madhab, majority will not discuss Uthman and the fitna and dissension, Muhammad. Majority is a happy Eid, fasting, Shahr Ramadan, Salah 5 times. That's majority. He's not going to dissect and go in depth. And the one, now listen to this point, and the one who goes into depth, some of them, they will say, my conclusion is that yes, there was a mistake, but we shouldn't fight over it, and I have no problem with that. And then there's a third group, which is what? So what if Ali ibn Abi Talib is being attacked by someone? Who cares? What's the issue? So you think what's happening in Syria now, do you know what's beautiful about it? You know what? Now I believe in Jamal and Siffin if I didn't before. Because if I didn't believe people will kill people and they're proud of saying we are Bani Umayyah, now I believe when he says the flag, they sing these poems, we are Bani Umayyah, we are Bani Umayyah. I believe it. Why? Uthman, when he gets killed, all of a sudden everyone pops up and starts saying Ali ibn Abi Talib is responsible, so we should all fight him and kill him. That's it. Fight him and kill him. Will you tell me this man, Imam Ali, you meant to tell me that he's in Jannah and he's a great companion and so on. So the killer and the killed are all in Jannah? All of them are in Jannah? Who led that army? Aisha led the army. She led the army of thousands. You know, in Jamal, not many died. Thank God. Not many. Only 20,000. Not many. What's the issue? What's the issue? It's just 20,000. That's 20,000. People die. هو Karbala. If you say, let's say in Karbala 200 people died and people are heartbroken. Jamal, 20,000 died. How many years after Rasulullah? 25. That's the best generation you ever saw. That is the best generation? 20,000. I asked the question, which mom likes to see her kids kill each other? All of you have had a mom or a wife. Let me ask you. The mom likes to see the kids fight or likes to see them kill each other? Jamal, 20,000 died. From the side of Amir al-Mu'mineen, the side of the opposition, Aisha and Talha and Zubair and so on. But on that day, Imam and his soldiers, they weren't taking any liberties. Yes? Imam Ali, at the beginning of the battle, he spoke to them. To Zubair, to Talha. And who was Imam? Listen to what Muhammad bin Abu Bakr was. Imam had what I describe in English, to make it easy, as the Thursday police. In Arabic, Sharatat al-Khamis or Shurtat al-Khamis. Who are they, these? The Thursday police. The Thursday cavalry. Who are they? 6,000 of Imam Shia who had pledged to die for him wherever they were in the world. 6,000. They said, we will die for you wherever. These 6,000, to be a member of them was not easy. You had to be the hardcore of the Shia. Those 6,000, amongst their leaders were who? Malik al-Ashtar, Habib ibn Madahir, Muslim bin Awsaja. Yes, all of these names you hear 20 years later in Karbala, they were all members of the Thursday police. That Thursday police, Muhammad bin Abu Bakr was one of their main ones. Wherever we are, we give our necks to Ali ibn Abi Talib. Whoever fights him, it doesn't matter what their name is, what their surname is, what their cousin's name is. They in front of us, if they fight our Mawla, we will finish them and butcher them. There was no such thing as we'll go and kiss their hand and we break bread and we are all the same and there's no difference. No, there's a difference. Baba, there's a difference. There's a difference. There's a house where Jibreel came and a house where alcohol was sitting. It's two completely different houses. Yes? Two completely different houses we're talking about. At the beginning of the battle, Imam made it clear. Muhammad bin Abu Bakr, are you ready? He said, I'm more than ready. But Imam is asking for a reason. Why? Because your sister's in the opposition. And mankind has a problem. When their family does dhulm, they stay quiet. Anyone else in the jama'at, they start writing on the keyboard. Even with Maulanas, by the way. Even with Maulanas. If a Maulana is a friend of yours, whatever he says in the majlis is not controversial. But if he's not your friend, everything he says is controversial. You can get two Maulanas who say exactly the same lecture. The same lecture. The one who's your friend is not controversial. He said the same thing. But that one's not my friend. That one doesn't praise me in public, so I don't like him. But if another Maulana praises me, what does the human want except praise? So Muhammad's sister is there. Muhammad's sister, there. Are you ready? He said, I don't care who gets in the way of my master, they're dead. It's a family, so I don't care. Whose family? Ali ibn Abi Talib. What do we say in ziyarah? Bi abi anta wa ummi. May my father and my mum be sacrificed for you, Abu Abdullah. If my mum gets in the way, let her die and Abu Abdullah remain alive. That's the highest level of faith, by the way. It's not easy. What I'm saying is not easy, because someone might turn around to me and say, bro, I love my dad more than anything in this world. Reach a stage where you're willing to see your dad die and Imam Mahdi stay alive. Reach that stage. It's not easy, by the way. It's not easy. It's a spiritual stage we all have to try and endeavor. If you're too attached to something in this dunya, reflect on your spirituality, because this dunya is too fickle to be attached to anything. If this dunya, Ali ibn Abi Talib lived in it for 63 years, then we should never live a day above that. It's a dhulm on this earth. Imam told Zubair said, you know what, but you killed Uthman, or you know the killers of Uthman. Then Imam reminded him of the hadith. Zubair left the battlefield. Talha was adamant, today we fight. We fight. Talha, his son, others, today we fight. And Aisha, not even a thought of not fighting. And that's why I say the biggest load of nonsense you'll see is 4 rightly guided khulafa. It's nonsense. There's no such thing as 4 rightly guided. If he's 4th rightly guided, then she cannot fight him. That means the 4th rightly guided khulafa came 100 years later. Keep changing as you go along. Depends which Abbasid or Umayyad Khalifa wants to change. Imam said, wait, we will not start. They started. Imam said, bad. They've shot the first arrow. And now that they shot the first arrow, Imam looks to his right. Hassan bin Ali, you ready? More than ready. Hussein, ready? More than ready. Muhammad bin Abu Bakr, you ready? So I'm more than ready. Malik al-Ashtar, you ready? I'm more than ready. Habib al-Madahir, you ready? Let's do this. Ammar bin Yasir, you ready? Let's do this. She was in a camel carriage. She had 400 people cover her camel. How many? 400 just covering her camel, so that the wife of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not affected. There was a tribe of animals really. It's not a human, it's animals walking on the earth. Bani Dubba. Bani Dubba is animals walking on the earth. They defended her carriage, because you know if that carriage falls and the camel dies, the battle's over. Everybody relied on that camel. That Bani Dubba, they surrounded that carriage. They gave such a ferocious fight. You know who finished them? Imam al-Hassan. Who finished them? Imam al-Hassan. Imam al-Hassan fights? I thought Imam al-Hassan doesn't fight. Imam al-Hassan, after Amir al-Mu'mineen, no one comes near him in the battlefield. Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam, he went to Bani Dubba one by one, he finished them. I have a lecture just on this incident, for which I've given in the past. Imam finished this Bani Dubba, and Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen, ba'ad is Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen. You're not exactly going to beat him in the battlefield. So he's going through them one by one. They were flying, by the way. They're flying. They're flying. Someone says, but Imam, unity. Imam Ali, unity. Why don't we have unity? Imam Ali, why do you fight, Imam Ali? Why don't you stay in unity? Oh, I don't know which Shi'ism. I don't know which Shi'ism reached us, by the way. The Shi'ism that we want or the Shi'ism that the Imams had. I don't know. Anyway, so everybody to their own. When they want Imam Ali to be peaceful, when it suits them, is peaceful. Because it suits them now to be peaceful. Then you want Imam Ali to be a warrior, it suits them when they feel like it. Imam saw that the carriage was falling. Imam al-Hassan, Malik al-Ashtar. Imam saw the carriage falling. As it fell, she's falling. She now knows someone's coming to approach. Man anta, who are you? She calls out. He replied, I'm the worst of your family to you. Remove your hands from the body of the wife of Rasulullah. How dare you touch me? You're not mahram to me. He said, I am Muhammad, son of Abu Bakr. The only person mahram in the army of Ali ibn Abi Talib who could touch her. Allahu Akbar. Imam knew anyone else touches her, she will complain until Qiyamah about it. Yes? Imam made sure the only person who could touch her body has to be mahram. Muhammad bin Abu Bakr, you know what she said? Wallah, you would think she would say, oh my brother, this, that. She says, Ibn al-Khad'amiyya, is that you touching me? The daughter of the Khad'ami woman? He said to her, it's me. How dare you go against us? He said, I go against you and your father. All of you. I have nothing to do with any of you. That's my master over there. Imagine how big that stand is. Imagine how big. The father is the first caliph. The wife is the head of the sister is the head of the army. And Imam Ali alayhi salam tells her, because she wanted to stay in Basra, by the way. She didn't want to move. Because you know, sometimes people say, you know, Imam Ali, his akhlaq, he sent her back with which history are you reading? About not understanding. Say Imam Ali was so respectful. Look how he respected the wife. He sent her back peacefully to Medina. No, he didn't. She wanted to stay in Basra. He said, get up, get out of here. You're not staying here. Get up. You're the historian or I don't know. Wallah, I don't know. Said, you get up, get up. You're back to Medina. He sent her with 40 women of Bani Abd Qais. You know what she then says? He sends me with men and then later on it turns out to be women. He sent her back. Go away where you should be. You started this fitna. Muhammad was how old on that day? Muhammad was 26 years of age. 26 years of age. What a huge moment. Imam then, seeing Muhammad with responsibility, with vigor, one of the places Imam needed Muhammad was where? Was Egypt. Egypt was a central location in the Muslim Empire. Imam originally had placed who? He placed Qais bin Sa'ad in Egypt. Qais bin Sa'ad wasn't as outspoken. So Imam later on placed who? Muhammad, son of Abu Bakr. There was a problem when Uthman got killed. What was the problem? Uthman's lovers and the haters of Imam Ali formed a sect. What was that sect called? Uthmaniyya. Simple. Uthmaniyya. You know there was no Sunni Islam at that time. This myth that Sunni Islam was there at that time is the biggest load of nonsense you'll ever hear. There was no such thing as Sunni Islam. It was a fragmented community. And you had the Uthmaniyya. Uthmaniyya hated Imam Ali and loved Uthman. Someone says, but that's not Sunni Islam today. They love Imam Ali. Shows you Sunni Islam is constantly evolving. Allahu alam how much more evolutions there will be. Yani it could keep going and going and going. This Uthmaniyya, they wanted to cut Imam Ali's empire. Who was with them? Muawiyah fighting Imam Ali at Siffin. And Muhammad bin Abu Bakr comes to fight with Imam Ali against Muawiyah at Siffin. Muhammad fights Muawiyah in Siffin, but you know, after Siffin, now the community is split because now you have Khawarij, you have Uthmaniyya. Muhammad, the 26-year-old in Egypt, while he is governor, Imam writes him a letter. You're out of governor. Malik al-Ashtar is now governor. Why? In Nahj al-Balagha, I want you to look at two sermons tonight if you can, after the lecture. 34 and 68 of Nahj al-Balagha. Imam's letters to Muhammad bin Abu Bakr. And in one of them he said, I heard you became angry with me, that I removed you to put Malik in. Muhammad became angry? Yes. Muhammad became angry. Why am I being removed as governor? But Muhammad is a human and he's young. He's not 56 years old. Muhammad was 26, 27. Imam replied with calmness, I believe Malik is more suitable. And that's a big thing. What is it? I don't put someone because he is good in something but not good in that position. I need to take a decision in the community. I put the person who's best fit for that decision. Sometimes what do? We keep someone in power for too long, and they've overstayed their welcome. Imam didn't care. Muhammad, I raised him. Imam said, I've raised him. I love him. But Malik has to take this position. Muawiyah smelt that Malik, if he goes to Egypt, Ali will be too strong. Egypt will be stable. So what did Muawiyah do? Muawiyah made sure in Siffin, Ammar was killed. And Malik al-Ashtar, on his way to Egypt to be the governor, Muawiyah ensured that poison was given to Malik. And then the famous statement, what is it? I cut the two wings of Ali, Ammar and Malik. When he's cut the two wings of Imam Ali alayhi salam, Ammar bin Yasir and Malik al-Ashtar, Muhammad bin Abu Bakr is now the only one left. What does Muawiyah do? Muawiyah knows the Uthmanis are with him, the one who ate Imam Ali. They want vengeance for Uthman. Muawiyah sends 6,000 soldiers with Amr ibn al-As. 6,000 soldiers towards Egypt. He knows the last thing I need is to cut Ali in Egypt. I've already broken the ummah. Now someone says Imam Ali isn't strong enough. I want you to understand this delicate point over here. Imam Ali alayhi salam, one of his greatest moments, what is it? In Siffin, Imam Ali could have easily rejected that arbitration. He could have said, I'm Khalifa, I'm not doing an arbitration. But Imam Ali does something which is the pinnacle of leadership on the earth. You know what it is? When they said to him, Mawla, you will accept the arbitration with Muawiyah? The people want the Quran to judge. Mawla said, yes, I'll accept. They said to him, you don't reject this? He said, well, I reject the philosophy of it. There's no doubt. But if the people do not trust me to govern them, then I will not force my leadership on them. Do you know there are certain dictators in the Arab world? If they left when the people didn't want them, the people would have made statues of them today. But when they stayed and stayed and stayed and stayed too long, the people got sick of them. Ali ibn Abi Talib was Khalifa for 2 years. He said, I'm willing to allow an arbitration. They said, but Mawla, you're the Khalifa. He said, no, if the people don't trust me anymore, I will not force my authority on them. That to me is greater than Khaybar and Khandaq. Because it's hard for a leader to say, maybe they don't trust me now. It's better that I give it to them. It's hard. No one loves a kursi more than a leader. That's why they say Maulanas love Ayatul Kursi. Because they don't want to let go of the kursi. We all love the kursi. We don't want to let go of the chair. Ali ibn Abi Talib could see. Muawiyah knew. And that's why they said, Ali, you will never be a politician like Muawiyah. And what did Imam reply? If it wasn't for taqwa, I would be the most cunning politician. He uses tactics. I fear Allah. Allahu Akbar. If it wasn't for taqwa, and that's why I always say, those who enter politics, they must always remember one thing. You could be nasty behind the scenes of your community. Be nasty. Be nasty. Then you've not understood Muawiyah, or you've not understood Ali, but rather you've gone on the path of Muawiyah. A person who's a Shia of Ali, whatever happens, if I get a chance to serve, I serve. If I don't, let someone else serve. No problem. But Shi'at Ali, sadly today, are not like that anymore. I serve, and if someone else serves and not me, I'll destroy their reputation. Then you, mashallah, you're not Shi'at Ali, you're Shi'at Muawiyah. Simple. Muawiyah is your leader. Then Muawiyah, cunning, he sent 6,000 soldiers towards Egypt. He knew, I need to get rid of Muhammad bin Abu Bakr. Muhammad bin Abu Bakr in Egypt writes to Imam Ali alayhi salam. He says, Mawla, you know, before I didn't understand your decision. Now I get your decision. They're surrounding me from every angle. He said, mobilize your army. He mobilized 4,000. They mobilized 6,000. Muhammad mobilized that 2,000 one way, 2,000 the other. They fought and fought valiantly until at the end they killed all of the soldiers. He was left alone. 28 years old, son of the first Khalifa, brother of the wife of the Prophet, could have easily, and I'll say something about him on this note. Why is he not Khal al-Mu'mineen? Why is he not uncle of the believers and Muawiyah is? Muawiyah is called Khal al-Mu'mineen, the Khalu of the Mu'mineen. Why? Because his sister Habiba was the wife of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Muhammad's sister Aisha is also the wife. So why is he not Khal? Because he loves Ali ibn Abi Talib. So he cannot be given praise. He cannot be given praise. It kills them to give praise. Wallah, it kills them. It kills them to give praise of someone who was loyal to Ali. That's why they say radiyallahu anhu to anyone who fought him. Show me anyone who has fought Imam Ali. I will show you their madhab, say radiyallahu anhu next to his name. You're trying to kid me. Okay, they called Muhammad. Muhammad's been a nemesis. He's a nemesis. Aisha doesn't like him. But still, that's her bro. You know what Amr ibn al-As and Muawiyah bin Hudayj and all them do to him? One opinion is they killed him in the battlefield. What's the other opinion? You get a donkey. Rip the body of the donkey open. Put him inside the donkey. Stitch the donkey up and burn the donkey. So what do you think? What we're seeing now is what? From where? From where? This is all the DNA. It continues. لا يلدون إلا فاجرا. And his DNA continues. You kill a human being, how? How? You get a donkey, cut up the stomach of the donkey. Get Muhammad, put him inside, stitch it up and burn the donkey. Do you know in Cairo he has a grave, his grave is there. This big. Amr ibn al-As's mosque is the size of 15 Birmingham Jama'ats. Yes? Amr ibn al-As fights Ali ibn Abi Talib, has a mosque named after him. Muhammad bin Abu Bakr, loyal to Ali ibn Abi Talib, has a grave this big. And they tell us that why do you guys get so emotional about your history? Those who hated Mawla and fought him. You know what Amr ibn al-As did? I'll leave you with this important point. When Muhammad died, Muhammad had something which was a treasure. What was it? When Ali ibn Abi Talib appoints you as governor, he always gives you two things. The first is he writes you advice on leadership. What did I quote at the beginning of my majlis? "O Muhammad, son of Abu Bakr, I've entrusted you to be commander of the most important part of my army, and that is in Egypt. So do not let your whims and your passions overrun your judgment. Make sure you keep on guarding your religion and the state, which is under your trust. Do take care that not for a single moment you incur the wrath of Allah, so that you please a person." You can't get words of magic like Ali ibn Abi Talib. Wallah. Wallah, look at the words. Look at the words. This man has, "Don't let your whims and passions override your judgment. Don't for a single moment incur the anger of Allah to please someone in the community." That's the first treasure. What's the second treasure he always gave? He would always give, like, you know how we have a risala of fiqh, where you have all the answers to all the fiqh questions? He would always send to his governor answers on every area of law. When Amr ibn al-As and all of them killed Muhammad, they took all of the books of Imam Ali alayhi salam. They sent them where? To Muawiyah. Muawiyah was sitting, Walid bin Utbah was next to him. Muawiyah looked at all the books and the answers of Imam Ali, and he saw all of the wisdom, and he was like, "Look at all of this." And Walid bin Utbah looked at him. He said, "Why are you so enamored by this?" He said, "The wisdom and the mastery of Ali ibn Abi Talib's knowledge." He said, "So why did you fight him?" He said, "I fought him because he killed Uthman." I said, "Listen, you don't praise Ali ibn Abi Talib. If people were to hear that you're in awe of all the knowledge he sent to Muhammad on every answer on Islamic law, the people would say that you are wrong." He said to him, "So what do we do?" He said, "Muhammad's whose son?" He said, "Abu Bakr." He said, "So say this were all the notes he took from his dad." Imagine. Those books and treasures remained in Sham until Umar bin Abdul Aziz became Khalifa. When Umar bin Abdul Aziz became Khalifa, he said, "These do not belong to Abu Bakr or anyone else. This is Ali ibn Abi Talib's knowledge." Umar bin Abdul Aziz, of the Umayyads, there are some who are good Umayyads, like who? Khalid ibn Sa'id, Muhammad bin Abi Hudayfa, Muawiyah son of Yazid. Muawiyah son of Yazid, not Yazid son of, no, Muawiyah son of. Then there are Umayyads who we do not like, but you have to appreciate a stand when a stand is there. He said, "These are Ali's words. These are Ali's books. As an Umayyad, why am I covering it? It's Ali ibn Abi Talib's words." Stop the abuse of Ali and reveal the knowledge of Ali. Imagine. That's why so much of the treasures of Mawla were lost, wallah, because of their hatred towards him. Mawla was grieved by the loss of Muhammad. It broke his heart. Him, Malik al-Ashtar, Ammar bin Yasir, Khuzaymah bin Thabit, Ibn Tayyihan. These were people Mawla loved. One by one they were butchered, or they were killed, or they were executed. And even Asma bint Umays, people forget, and many don't know, Asma died of the grief when she lost Muhammad. She died of the grief of losing Muhammad, her son. That boy was with her. You know, when you've just had a husband die and you have that baby, that remains with you forever. Wherever you are, that grief remains with you wherever you go. And that's why you find, my dear brothers and sisters, that subhanallah, it's as if anyone who loved Imam Ali or was butchered in their lives, wallah, any of these people, because they loved Mawla or because they praised Mawla, they would be butchered because of that. Habib, Muslim, others, because of their love of Imam Ali, not Imam al-Hussein, because of their love of Imam Ali alayhi salam, they were butchered on the plains of Karbala. That when they fell on the earth, you would think that an arrow has shot them, that would be it. People would come with a sword and keep hitting them. Allahu Akbar. Some of those companions of Sayyid al-Shuhada, some of them, when they fell on the earth, may Allah bless each and every one of their souls. When they fell on the earth, you would think that the person would just say, "Okay, he's dead." No, another would come and hit him. Another would kick him. Another would kick him. Another would hit him. The Maqatil tell us that in some cases they kept hitting and hitting and hitting. Why? The moment this person said, I love Ali, the person's body was butchered. That was it. None more so than Zuhair ibn al-Qayn. Yes? Zuhair ibn al-Qayn, when he came out on the battlefield, he made it clear his poetry, and he mentioned Mawla's name, أنا زهير وأنا ابن القين أضربكم بالسيف عن حسيني إن حسينا أحد السبطين من عترة النبي الزكي الزيني ذاك رسول الله غير المين يا ليت نفسي قسمت قسمين. He made clear his love for Imam al-Hussein, for the family of Rasulullah, for Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. He went out on the battlefield. He fought so valiantly, Zuhair ibn al-Qayn, until they caught him and they butchered him into pieces. When they were striking his body, ripping it up, Imam al-Hussein emerged from the battlefield. He then cursed them and said, may Allah raise them as animals on the day of judgment, when he saw the state of the body of Zuhair. For which crime? بأي ذنب قتلت? For which crime was Zuhair killed? With the same crime Muhammad bin Abu Bakr was killed for, loving Ali ibn Abi Talib, nothing else. Because they loved Amir al-Mu'mineen, they were butchered, they were burned, they were killed, they were beheaded, they took their bodies, they trampled on their bodies, and so on and so forth. Imagine, my dear brothers and sisters, if it hurt Imam al-Hussein that much, how much did it hurt the wife of Zuhair, Daylam, who was in the tents of Imam al-Hussein? That lady saw her husband, his body from a mile away, ripped into pieces. The ladies could not go out into the plains of Karbala. There were too many soldiers. So when did they get the chance to go out? On Sham Ghariban. Yes, on the night of the 11th of Muharram. She had woken up, the other ladies were asleep. Zainab sleeping one way and Kulthum the other. Sukaina holding on to her to the rest of the children. That Daylam woke up, she looked at her servant, she said to her, my servant, come near me. She said to her, what is it? She said, I want you to look for your master Zuhair's body. I want you to place this cloth on his body. I don't want his body to be lying there, ripped up with no one to bury it. And that servant says that I went out on the plains of Karbala to look for the body of Zuhair ibn al-Qayn. She said, I looked one way and I saw a body without arms, and I saw a body without eyes, and I saw a body without a head. She said, I kept on looking and looking. Then I came back to the tent. When she came back to the tent, Daylam said to her, did you place the cloth on the body? She said to her, no. She said to her, why? Why not? I asked you to place the cloth on the body. She said to us, I was about to place the cloth on the body of Zuhair. I saw the holy body of Abu Abdullah lying there with no one to cover it. So I asked myself, how could I cover the body of Zuhair and the son of Fatima Zahra's body lies there? Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. My dear brothers and sisters, raise your hands on this Thursday night. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all of our a'mal. Ya Allah, raise us with the disciples of Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen. Allow us to receive their shafa'ah, Ya Allah. Allow us to be amongst those who are raised with his grandson, Imam Sahib al-Asri wal-Zaman. The originators of this majlis, Ya Allah, let them continue on the path of Muhammad and al-Muhammad. Allow them to remain strong and firm in the face of difficulties, Ya Allah. On this Thursday night, a number of you have requested me to recite the ayah of the Quran. Many of us have difficulties in our personal life, in our business life, with our children. Many of us face trials and challenges with our health as well. So let us all raise our hands and recite the ayah of the Quran. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Amma yujibu al-mudtarra idha da'a. أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us with ziyarat al-Hussein alayhi salam and shafa'at Sayyid al-Shuhada alayhi salam. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with a surah al-Fatiha. But before it, wherever you may be, the loudest of your salawat. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب